All right, let's dig into today's insights. We're focusing on a really profound passage from the H7O Ministry's daily devotional. It genuinely challenges how we look at, ultimate commitments. Our mission today is to pull out some vital insights on commitment and, well, surrender.
That's a great way to put it. And what's really fascinating here, I think, isn't just that it's an old story. It's how the devotional encourages us to see it as like a mirror. It kind of forces us to ask ourselves some tough questions about how we handle life's biggest decisions, the really demanding ones, pushing us towards those aha moments by looking at, are we truly willing to go all in? Or
That idea, going all in, it takes us right to Luke 14, doesn't it? Verses 31 and 32. The devotional calls it the parable of the king who sits down. And it paints this picture. What king, intending to go to war against another king, does not first sit down and consider? Consider whether he is able with 10,000 men to meet the one coming against him with 20,000. And if not, well, he will send a delegation while the other is still a long way off and sue for peace. The absolute core of it, as the devotional points out, is that action, sitting down and considering.
exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture like the devotional does, it shows this isn't just planning 101. It's fundamentally about recognizing a deep inability, which is radical, right? It suggests that following Christ isn't some impulsive emotional thing. It's actually total surrender, but crucially, it comes after you've seriously, deeply thought about your own limits.
A profound inability.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it feels so counterintuitive. The devotional then lays out these key principles that come from this. First one, war is inevitable. It explains that essentially every person is kind of in conflict with God until they surrender. And discipleship, surprisingly, starts when we admit we just cannot win against the King of Kings. That's where it gets really interesting. Weakness is the starting point.
Precisely. And that's such a departure from, today's pull yourself up by your bootstraps idea.
Yeah.
The devotional unpacks this idea that real strength, weirdly enough, isn't in asserting yourself. It's found in truly recognizing your limits. It's not just being humble. It's strategic wisdom, which leads right into the next principle. Sitting is spiritual wisdom. Before you even think about following Jesus, it prompts you to ask genuinely, am I really willing to give up everything? And that raises a big question for you listening. Have you ever truly evaluated that cost? With, brutal honesty.
And thinking about our own limits or lack of capacity, it makes you ask, who is this ultimate King of Kings the devotional refers to? It clarifies the true king is Jesus, the one coming in glory. And there's this real urgency baked in, isn't there? It's much better to make peace now, while he's, as the passage says, still a long way off, rather than face certain defeat later.
Which leads us to the most, hopeful principle, I think. Surrender is the beginning of salvation. The devotional assures us that for those who see their weakness, who lay down their arms, so to speak, before the king, they find grace, not judgment, but just boundless grace. It's a massive turning point.
So, okay, what does this huge turning point mean practically for you listening? The deep dive isn't just theory, right? It's a direct call to stop, to really think, and to make a serious decision about what needs to be, well, left behind. A call to the cross, as the devotional puts it.
Exactly. The parable has this potent warning, but also this incredible invitation. Peace is available right now. You're encouraged to see your own insufficiency, maybe where you try to fight battles you can't win. And just embrace the grace that comes when you surrender. It's a call to complete discipleship, not just saying the words, or feeling something for a moment, but a life of integrity, of perseverance, of sacrifice, living like someone who's truly entered into this deep covenant.
Yeah. Ultimately, the core message from this devotional feels crystal clear. Jesus isn't calling the curious onlookers, but the fully surrendered. Discipleship starts with that surrender. It continues with perseverance day by day, and it ends in glory. Today, as the devotional really stresses, is the critical time to make peace with the King. So as you think about all this, maybe here's a final thought to chew on. What part of your life are you still trying to fight for, holding on to, when maybe, just maybe, surrender might open a door to unexpected grace and a peace you haven't even imagined?
Yeah, definitely something to keep pondering, this powerful message of surrender and real commitment.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into some profound truth today. We're really grateful you engaged with us, and we absolutely want to thank the entire H7O community for their incredible support. It means the world. We invite you to learn more about our ministry and how you can support us by visiting h7o.life. See you tomorrow. Blessing.